Hi there, Lijianan. Let's take a look at this new set of essays you've written for us, shall we? Okay, this is green energy. You have to discuss both views here and give your opinion. Let's see how you dealt with this. Okay, so let's get right into it. Okay, the issue of whether wind power, nuclear power, and water power should be used broadly around the world. Some believe that they are economical and eco-friendly, while I argue that it cannot be forgotten that using it also might pose a threat to energy security. This essay will demonstrate both issues using examples from the Harvard University and WTO. All right, let's talk a little bit about this, shall we? First of all, wind power, water power, yes. Green energy. There is some debate as to whether nuclear power is considered green energy or not, so just keep that in mind. This is not a complete sentence. Okay, your first sentence, take a look. The issue of whether wind power, nuclear power, and water power should be used broadly around the world. All right, that's not a full sentence, it's just a clause, and so you're missing the rest of the sentence. So, is a matter of considerable debate, is a matter of controversy. I mean, so the verb is missing and the predicate part of the sentence is missing. Okay, and then the grammar has some problems as well. Okay, so check this out. Your pronouns were incorrect here in this sentence. So some believe they are economical and eco-friendly, while I argue that it cannot be forgotten that using them, not it. Okay? Now, I also felt that this was a little awkward. It was a little too wordy, and you could have really simplified here. So, while I argue that we must not forget using these types of energy might pose, or I wouldn't even have written this part about forgetting at all. I would have just said, while I argue that they might pose a threat to energy security. Okay, so just sometimes simplifying the language and reducing the number of words creates better clarity. Okay, and it's not the Harvard University, it's just Harvard University. Let's move on. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that applying clean energy could save the cost and benefit our environment. Save the cost. What cost? The cost. There's not just one universal cost, so be a little clearer here. Could save costs, perhaps, yeah, and benefit our environment. That works better. The certain reason for this is that the production of energy from green energy, no, just the production of green energy has less cost, and it applies the power of nature to produce energy like wind and water, which has fewer contaminants than traditional energy, such as fossil fuels. For example, there is research from Harvard University which states that there is below 50% of cost and pollutants by using wind power compared to burning fossil fuels. Therefore, it is clear that using green energy could not only save money, but not harm the environment. Okay, let's change that a little bit maybe. Therefore, it is clear that using green energy could not only save money, but also save the environment. Yeah, I prefer that to the negative here. Let's see. You talked quite a bit about environment. I felt like you kind of underdeveloped this whole thing about cost. Let me tell you why. You mentioned the word cost here, and then you said it has less cost here. Okay. And then, you said it's below 50% of cost and pollutants. So I just felt like you threw in the word cost, but didn't really analyze it at all. And that's something I would have liked you to discuss a little bit more in detail. Okay? On the other hand, although there is a case for green energy benefiting the environment and saving costs, the detrimental impact of energy security cannot be overstated. This is largely because the production of energy using green energy is inefficient, cannot satisfy the energy demand of humans with an S. For example, the report from WTO demonstrated that a country's energy supply would be affected seriously if governments implement the policy that develops clean energy on a large scale. Why? That's the kind of development that you would need here. Explain to me why this would happen, okay? Consequently, it is possible to state beyond doubt that it is not reasonable to fund clean energy massively. Let's see. Okay, but all right, I do have a question here. So you say that if they fund it on a large scale, if they fund it massively, all right, fine, okay. In conclusion, the arguments and examples given, no, through or by the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that although clean energy is environmentally friendly and economical, the energy security would be threatened, ed, and then no the here, if the application of them spreads. Of them, of whom, of, I mean, the energy, energy security would be threatened if its application, clean energy, spreads broadly. In the future, clean energy will be limited because of its low efficiency. Interesting. Okay. It's fine. Oops. Yeah, I mean, there's some good things happening here for sure. You've done a lot of good things. You've developed, like I said, I wanted maybe a little bit more here about cost. But on the whole, I'm happy with it. It's a good job. So let's take a look at this task 1 with the island. The two maps give the illustration that how a desolate island is developed to a tourist attraction. All right, let's clean it up a little bit because the word choices, the syntax, everything is a little inaccurate. So the two maps provide information about how a desolate island is developed into a tourist attraction. Overall, there is a large change in this island where it is suitable for living and entertainment. I don't even know if it's entertainment. You could have just said recreation. Before the construction, get rid of this the, there were just a couple, careful with your typing, there were just a couple of trees on the island, which was surrounded by sea. Besides, in the west of the island, there was a beach. All right, well, I would have gotten rid of the besides. Okay, I would have preferred maybe just a touch more information here. So, prior to development, we have an uninhabited island, okay, where there is a beach on the west coast of the island, and there are numerous trees scattered through the west and east coast, as well as in the center of the island. Okay, that's maybe what I would have said. After the construction, the trees have been cut and just left some in the east of the island. After the construction, the trees were cut and only some were left in the east of the island. There is a pier in the south, which is the entrance to the island. Well, we don't know that for sure. I mean, I would assume so, but there's a pier in the south. Okay, I don't even think you could say entrance. You could say which provides access to the island. A vehicle track brings people into the island, and the central building built in the center. Oh, no. So it brings people into the island, and the building in the center was around the railway. What? There's no railway. There's a vehicle path and there's a footpath. There shouldn't be anything about a railway here. Okay, in the northeast and southeast of the central building, there are both buildings located. Okay, what kinds of buildings? I think there is some indication of what they are, no? In addition, the footpath was paved, not the footpath was paved, because there is a footpath all around the island. Following the footpath to the west, some accommodations cater for the needs as of tourists with the entertainment of beach. Okay, let's try that again. Following the footpath to the west, I don't even know why you say to the west. From the west, maybe. I don't know. Let's try it though. some accommodations. Do you know honestly what I would have said? I would have said, look at what it is here. I think this is what you're referring to. The footpath in the west connects the beach to the accommodation in the west. All right, that's an easier way to say this. On the other side, there are cabins built in the form of a circle connected by the footpath. In the east of the cabins, east of the cabins, not in the east, but east of the cabins, a lake was created. All right, you might have said something a little more about this, like you could call an artificial lake, a man-made lake was built, a man-made lake was created, maybe just a little. You could have also said that there were just a couple of trees there. That's one extra thing you could have said. They have given you a scale. You didn't mention the scale at all. So it's not a huge tragedy. Most people don't. But I'm just pointing it out to you. Okay, so basically what's happening here is that there's some areas of awkwardness in some of your expression. You've covered all the main points, so that's good. I think we've talked a little bit about what else was strong here and what else needed a little work. So go ahead and correct these. I don't know if you have any more essays with us. I thought that you have finished your package. If you still have time before your exam, I would like to see more essays from you. I think you would benefit from further feedback. So do consider signing up for more essay corrections with us. I would like to see more essays from you. I would like to see you kind of incorporating some of the things that we're talking about, especially in terms of expression of language. Okay, the structure is good and everything, but I do want to see you kind of improving some of these areas of awkward language. All right, so hopefully we'll get to see more of your essays. I want to wish you lots of luck. Let us know either way what you decide to do. So I look forward to hearing from you soon.